Today we're looking at one of the biggest tablet matchups of the year. Apple has just dropped the iPad Pro M5. It is thinner than ever, powered by the monster M5 chip, and built like something that came straight out of a luxury showroom. Samsung fired right back with the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. This one is a massive slab of aluminum and glass with a 14.6-inch display that looks less like a tablet and more like a portable cinema screen. Both of them cost more than $1,000. Both promise professional productivity, and both promise to replace your laptop. But only one of them actually makes daily work easier and might not be the one most people expect. The first surprise for me came from Samsung's display. On paper, the difference is small. Samsung gives you a 14.6-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X screen, while the iPad Pro gives you a 13-inch Ultra Retina tandem OLED. 1.5 inches doesn't sound like much, but when you're editing a video timeline, reviewing large files, or managing several windows, the extra space feels like a different class. You don't have to pinch, zoom, or shuffle things around. You can see everything at once and breathe while working. Samsung's panel is no joke. It runs at 120 Hz, supports HDR10+, and can hit around 1,600 nits of peak brightness. This makes it one of the few tablets you can comfortably use outdoors without the screen turning into a mirror. Colors are rich, contrast is deep, and HDR movies look genuinely cinematic. Apple hits back with even better brightness at up to 1,800 nits, and where Apple pulls ahead is in color accuracy. Whites are natural, tones are perfectly balanced, and there is zero ghosting or shifting. It feels like the display was tuned by perfectionists. So while Apple may hold the edge in image accuracy, Samsung makes up for it with space. That extra real estate simply makes productivity feel easier and more natural. And a great display is nothing without great sound. Samsung goes in heavy with quad speakers tuned by AKG, and they deliver more body and more space than many laptops. The low end is strong and deep, without turning muddy or boomy. You can watch Netflix or play games without needing headphones and still feel immersed. Apple's 4-speaker system focuses more on clarity. Vocals and spoken content sound sharper and cleaner, especially in dialogue-heavy shows or video calls. Both tablets support Dolby Atmos and Bluetooth 5.4, so whichever one you choose, you're getting a portable multimedia machine that can easily replace your laptop when it comes to entertainment. Now let's look at what happens under the hood, because this is where Apple comes back swinging. The M5 chip in the new iPad Pro is a monster. The benchmark numbers tell the story without any sugarcoating. In Geekbench 6 single-core, the iPad Pro hits at around 4,200. Samsung's Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra scores around 2,700. In multi-core performance, the iPad reaches about 15,500, while Samsung lands near 8,900. In 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme, Apple scores about 10,900 and Samsung hits around 6,400. These aren't small gaps. These are the kind of differences you can feel if your work depends on heavy lifting. Samsung's MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus is not a slow chip at all. It performs well and stays smooth even in extended use, but it does fall behind Apple in raw horsepower. If you're exporting a 4K video, rendering multiple layers, or handling complex 3D workloads, the iPad finishes first. That same 4K clip that takes the iPad around 3 minutes may take Samsung 5 or 6. For professionals who need time-saving performance, Apple still rules this category. But performance only matters if your device can keep up for the whole day. This is where Samsung flips the script. The Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra packs an 11,600 mAh battery with a 94-hour endurance rating. In real-world usage, you can expect 9 to 10 hours of heavy multitasking without worrying about running out of power before the day ends. The iPad Pro's 10,290 milliamp hours battery sounds close, but under the same usage pattern, you usually get around 7 to 8 hours. That difference can be the difference between finishing your work on a plane and hunting for a charging outlet in an airport hallway. And Samsung charges faster too. You get 45W fast charging that can fill the battery in about 75 minutes. Apple's standard 20W charger feels outdated in comparison and takes much longer. It just feels slow on a device this expensive. The storage situation also shows two different philosophies. With Apple, you choose your storage when you buy the tablet. You can pick 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes, 1 terabyte, or more, but once you make that choice, you're locked in. If you run out of space later, you move to iCloud and hope for good Wi-Fi. Samsung gives you expandable storage up to 2 terabytes through a micro SD card. If your 256 gigabytes model is full, you could buy a cheap 1 terabyte card and keep working. No subscriptions, no limits, no asking for permission. It feels like ownership. Apple wants you inside the cloud. Samsung wants you in control. This difference continues with the stylus. Apple charges $129 extra for the Pencil Pro. Samsung includes the S Pen in the box at no extra cost. Samsung assumes you will want to draw, write, take notes, or mark documents immediately. Apple assumes you will pay extra for that freedom. It is not just about features. It is about how each company sees its customers. One gives you the tools you need from day one. The other charges you for them later. Now let's talk about something most tablet reviews ignore: durability. Samsung gives the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra IP68 water resistance. You can spill coffee, get caught in rain, or use it in messy environments and keep working. The iPad Pro has no water resistance rating. That means a small spill can turn into a repair bill. When you are spending over $1,000, peace of mind matters. Samsung gives it. Apple assumes you'll be careful. But durability is only one piece. The biggest difference comes down to software. iPadOS is polished, stable, and full of tablet-optimized apps. If you use an iPhone, Mac, or AirPods, everything syncs perfectly. It creates a seamless experience that is hard to beat. But most people today don't need a dedicated tablet version of every app. Many of us live on web tools and cloud services anyway. That's where Samsung's DeX mode becomes a secret weapon. It turns the tablet into a full desktop environment. You get multiple Windows, desktop-class browsing, true file management, and a workflow that feels familiar. You can even plug in a monitor and run up to 4 separate workspaces. Try moving a file between folders on iPadOS, and you'll understand why people end up emailing files to themselves. DeX is Samsung's way of saying that tablets can be used like real computers, not just stretched-out phones. Next, let's look at the cameras. The iPad Pro M5 uses a single 12MP wide camera and a LiDAR scanner for depth and AR accuracy. Samsung gives you a 13MP main camera and an 8MP ultrawide. On the front, Samsung offers a 12MP ultrawide, while Apple gives you a true depth system with tighter framing. In real use, Apple's photos look more natural with better color science, especially in low light. Skin tones look realistic and images feel clean. Samsung pushes saturation a bit more, which can look punchy on social media. Apple still has better background separation and more reliable face unlock. Samsung offers a wider field of view, which can be better for group video calls or wide-angle shots. With all of that said, it comes down to price and value. The Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra starts at $1,129 for the 256 gigabytes model and includes the S Pen. The iPad Pro M5 starts at $1,299 for 256 gigabytes And you need to spend another $129 for the Pencil Pro. That means the iPad costs $170 more, give you a smaller screen, shorter battery life, no water resistance, and no expandable storage. Samsung gives you more flexibility and a more complete package at the same price point. But here is the real point. Samsung built a tablet designed for how people actually live and work. Not everyone lives in a perfect productivity ecosystem. People want storage that can upgrade. People want a device that can survive a spill. People want fast charging. People want tools included in the box. Apple built the iPad Pro for the spec sheet. Samsung built the Tab S11 Ultra for the real world. And even though the S11 Ultra wins daily usability, many people still call it downgrade from the iPad. They're not entirely wrong. If you need absolute performance and time-critical processing, the iPad is still king. But if you want a tablet that removes friction from everyday use, Samsung has finally delivered something that challenges the status quo. So before you decide, check out my deep dive on the Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra, where I break down everything Samsung nailed and everything they still need to fix. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the CH. Anel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get the latest updates from Spec Hunter.